Coach Richardson, ninth annual spring game, 33-20, unofficially on the scoreboard. Of course, you did it more like a controlled scrimmage tonight. What were your thoughts coming out of tonight's spring game?
Really like the effort of our guys. That was one of the challenges. One of the biggest challenges going in was just to tell them that we wanted them to compete at a very high level and make sure that we were practicing the things that we've worked on here for the past 15 days. And so I thought they did that for the most part. Of course, one team won by 13 and one team lost by 13. But, you got to watch the film to see what those situations were. And I thought there was a lot of good competition, though, so I was very pleased.
Let's first talk about your quarterback battle. Reggie Pinner got a lot of the passing action tonight. You did get some action from Patrick O'Brien as well. A lot of rhythm with Reggie Pinner in the game tonight. You talk about that. Does that come from experience, or is it something that he's carried through all spring?
Honestly, I thought that Reggie really needed to have a good spring game tonight to kind of show us going into the offseason kind of what he was capable of for this spring. And I thought he did that. I thought he really stepped up very well. I think a lot of it is being put in those situations. If we remember back, Reggie Pinner as a true freshman last year, getting thrown into the fire against some of those teams that he played against, I think he had an opportunity to take all that, learn from it, and now being able to combine it with all the things that he's learned this spring and to be able to settle into that role. I think he did a great job of competing and stepping up.
Let's talk about the unnamed spring MVP of this game, Matt Davis, 6 or 7 field goals tonight, 2 that were over 40 yards. The kid has some leg.
Absolutely. He's got one of the strongest legs that's probably ever been through here, and he's got an opportunity to take that momentum and take it into the fall and be our guy that we can count on. And it's comforting to be able to get to the 30-yard line, 35-yard line in that range and know that if we can't punch it in, at least we can come away with 3 points. And so I thought he did a fantastic job. We've been talking all spring, he and I, just keeping him calm, keeping him just consistent. And I thought he really put that into practice tonight, into a situation where there's fans here and there's somewhat of a game on the line. And I thought he stepped up in a big way.
We got to talk about your defense as well tonight. Although it's a two-hand touch on the quarterbacks because they're wearing the red jerseys, Mike Keck still came away with 4 sacks unofficially. Talk about your defensive effort in this game.
Yeah, we had a lot of practices here where we've really been talking about what Code Black stands for. And so part of Code Black is sprinting relentlessly to the ball. And in the past few days, we felt like maybe we hadn't been doing that to the best of our ability. And that was a big challenge going into tonight for our defense. And I thought they answered the bell. I thought there were a lot of guys around the ball. There wasn't a whole lot of open seams and things that were just running free. A couple missed assignments and kind of some busted plays defensively. But for the most part, I thought we had a lot of guys to the football, and that was good to see.
Let's talk about one last question. Your running backs, you look like you have some depth there. A lot of guys played some action tonight. Probably your best performances are from Terrence Scott and Cliff Jones transfer. Talk about where you are in the backfield.
I think with Rontonio Stanley out, of course, he's got the most experience at that position, but those guys were able to get some reps there. We are pretty deep right there this spring, and the 2 names that you mentioned, Terrence and Cliff, they both probably have shown up the most consistent on film. I think they run the hardest. They've got probably the best vision of all of them, and I think those 2 give us a great opportunity to move the ball on the ground. And so I feel really good about our running game right now, and we just need to continue to refine it up front, continue to get the O-line going, and I think we'll be able to move the ball on the ground pretty well.
The one thing I wanted to ask, it seemed like in terms of receivers, a lot of different guys got touches. So what kind of stood out to you about that? And do you see any of those younger kids, I guess, kind of stepping up?
Yeah, ideally that's what would happen. I would hope. I think a lot of those younger guys, obviously, being redshirted last year, it's their first time really working into the mix, trying to compete for a job and trying to step up into more of our system. And so it's good to kind of see them in a game-like atmosphere tonight and being having to really compete with officials there and the coaches off the field. I thought some of them did. Probably some of them didn't do as much as what they should have. But it's great to see that a lot of them are getting the ball and getting opportunities to do that. I think we've definitely got the potential to have a lot of playmakers at that position, and it'll be nice to see going into fall camp who really steps up and takes the bull by the horns there.